I don't even know how many I've made now, but these will be released eventually. Welcome to my channel. I am Dory Stowell with Prairie Scraps. And we are, kind of chronicling the life of trying to get it together for demoing. Sorry, I'm just not gonna, you're not even gonna see me today, I guess. Demoing all the new product for the holiday release. So when I got this transfer, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it. Let's see what we can do here. Sorry. It's getting later and later. And I'm getting more and more exhausted. So we are gonna, this is the transfer that I'm using, stained glass scenes. It's going to be launched this next week. And you can see it's got the nativity scene with the angel and the three wise men and a star. It's kind of like with a stained glass. And I knew right away I wanted to put it on some hurricane glasses. I went to, that dollar place and the dollar something place, and I could not find anything big enough to put these on. And then I started looking around my house, and lo and behold, I have these two hurricanes that I actually am pretty sure I got it also, I don't know, at the dollar place at some point. I just put my ugly fingers all over it, fingerprints. But I happened to have two of them. They had some sand dollars that we found on the beach when we went to visit Washington State for the first time. We went to the beach and found tons and tons of sand dollars. So anyway, they've been in our bedroom. They've been cleaned now because they were dusty, of course. And here we are. I am going to turn these into some glass hurricanes. First of all, this transfer, it is a cut apart. It's got that line down the center, so I'm going to cut that first, and then we are going to fuzz like no tomorrow. I was using the Nutcracker on some paper, and oh my goodness, I totally wrecked my transfer because I did not fuzz it enough. I did not fuzz it the second time. I thought, well, I used it once, it's good enough. Lo and behold, it's not. So I am half inclined. So this you could do, you could use our etching cream, which would work really nice for this. But one of the things that I'm not as crazy about, I mean, I love the etching cream. I love the idea of it, but it doesn't always show up great. And so I want this to show on video. So I am going to do this in chalk. And the cool thing about doing chalk is that it is washable if you want it to be, but it will stay on there if you don't want to take it off. So we are just going to keep fuzzing like no tomorrow, like lots and lots, because because it's going on glass or paper or anything like that consistency, it is going to stick really hard. And although we want it to stick there, we don't want it to stick so hard that it rips the transfer because we want to use it over. So these are reusable silk transfers, and we want to get it. We can usually use it up to 12 times, and you can see I'm really going to town on this. All right, so what I'm going to do is put this on this towel, and I apologize. And I'm going to try to line this up. So there are going to be some hesitations. I even thought the other idea I had for this was that it would be very beautiful on, lining up is going to be the worst. Maybe I should have done this ahead of time. It would be really beautiful on a, if you took a picture frame and took out the backing and just used the glass and maybe glued it into the frame, you could totally do this on the front and then stained glass it on the back, do a watercolor. That would be beautiful. I feel like I'm running out of time though for all of the things. So at this point, I'm just trying to get it on the glass without bubbles. maybe did it. I love this. It's a little bit smaller. We've had some nativity scenes, and I have used so many nativity scenes. This would also be beautiful, like on a pillar candle. You could do it on the candle. I think it's going upwards. You know what I think I'm going to do? Because it's kind of like, because it's round, it is sort of moving around. If that makes sense. As it goes around, it's kind of not becoming uneven. So I think I'm going to put this more towards the top and do my best to line it up on the bottom. That's the bad thing about having a straight line at the bottom. I had thought about just doing like just the nativity part, you know, like the Jesus part. We'll see. We'll see. Sometimes when you do round objects, like I've done a lot of mugs with ink. You could also do this in ink. That's the other thing. You could do this in ink if you knew that the glass would survive the oven, because you do want to heat press it once you do the ink. But I think it's a little easier to do chalk. Usually doesn't come off. If I were going to sell it, I maybe would consider some, you know, a different process. But because I'm not planning on it, my husband's like, you're just doing chalk, right? So you could get off. He was having like withdrawal that I, you know, like, oh my gosh, we've lived here for I think it was 15 years ago that we went to and got to the beach and got all of those sand dollars to put in here. All right, we're going back to the ash. I did like really hard think about using gold shimmer or the nominee, but that would be very beautiful. But again, kind of for TV purposes, I want it to show up. So I am going to stick with my ash, which, like I've been telling you, is like the new black. So just go over the whole entire thing, and I'm going to double check for any sort of bubbles so that it doesn't go through the bubbles. But we do want to, anything you see that's clear, you do want to cover that really quickly. You don't want it to dry in the transfer. So you just want to work sort of quickly, get them all the places covered. You can, oops, we might have, the nice thing about glass too is that you can correct it. It's easy to just scratch it off once it's dry. So it's easy peasy to fix. So I think maybe my star is a mess. I don't know. I'm expecting some problems because I can now see a little bit of, all right, let's see how we did. I don't know which way to go. Maybe side to side. This one is so detailed. It's got such fine, like, quilt work. I'm super glad I did the darker color because look at how fine those crisscrosses are. Can you see that? Oh my goodness. So a little bit of smeary on the star, but everything else looks amazing. And like I said, this is reusable, so I will take it to the sink and wash it as soon as we're done. I'm going to set that over there to dry before I do harm. And we're going to set this back on the backing. And when we're done here, I will take that inside and get that cleaned up. So we're going to go ahead and I need to close my wipes. It just doesn't close very easily, so I end up like leaving them open. We're going to keep fuzzing. So we got a little rain today. We've been so dry, and there have been fires, some big fires in Elk City. And so they kind of just let them go. But the smoke has been pretty bad. And then today, a little bit of rain, but we also got thunderstorms and lightning, and it started up a whole bunch of fires, it looks like. So, kind of a sad situation. Isn't that pretty? I'm pretty excited about that. Look at that. Look at the detail. I am going to fix that star so it's nice and sharp. But the wise men look great. I heard somebody say the other day, I don't know if you're into biblical things. This is kind of a biblical. Somebody said that, I know, I was listening to the Bible recap because I've been reading through the Bible, and she said that the wise men didn't necessarily get there, like even in a good amount of time after Jesus was born. We like to have this thought that they either maybe got a way ahead warning that Jesus was coming, was going to be born. And so then they're traveled. I don't know. I think she said like 9 months it would have taken him to get to where he was. Or possibly we're, maybe not right on time. Okay. I'm going to try to repeat that, but with baby Jesus. Speaking of baby Jesus, let's see. I'm going to take a look at this. See how close to the top we are. A lot closer than I was planning. All right. We want baby Jesus to look good. So this time I went from the center, and that is working better. So work from the center, go out. I think I tried to go from one edge to the other last time, and that was working against me. Okay. So there it is on there. And we're just going to grab our ash chalk paste. So like I said, you can use, if you were doing glass, you could use etching cream. That would totally work and look beautiful in your home. I will not deny. And you can use a little bit of, I just stuck my finger in that. So now I'm distracted by the clump of paste on my finger. You can use a little gilding wax on the etching cream spots after it's done, you're finished with it. But I found that, I don't know, I wasn't very good at that. I tried that very well, but that's what I heard, is that you can do that. The other thing is they have this, like, I can't remember what it's called, but they use it on, the numbers on your stove dial, your stove handles, and how they rub off easily. You can get this like paint stick thing, and it will highlight your numbers again because they're kind of embossed in your stove knobs. I don't know what it's called. I found mine the other day and I don't know where it went. Anyway, you can use that. Excuse my rabbit trail, but you can use that to highlight your gilded or your etching cream as well. That one turned out beautiful. I love it. That one turned out so good. Look at that. Do you see how those lines, they're so tiny? All right, again, this is reusable, so we will get this in the water and wash it out. Use it again and again. Even though I used a lot of fuzzing on there, it will be just fine. Okay, now to show you, isn't that beautiful? Let me put this behind it. Isn't that just beautiful? And so all I'll do is I'll put a candle in there and we are good to go. Isn't that a beautiful way? I love the nativity scenes. I love, so here's the two. I love nativity scenes. So this will be my nativity scene this year. I usually try to get some nativity scene each year, whether it's, an actual big nativity scene. Okay, I'm going to show you how I am going to fix this little star. And it's not even, oops, I just dropped, that went. This is not even dry yet. But I want it to be dry in order to scrape away at it. We don't want to scrape away at it without making sure it's dry first. Well, and you know what a messy I am. So there's that. I really appreciate you being here on my channel, and I do put all the information down below for shopping, checking out. This is my small business. I try to make a little extra money to help pay the bills. I'm going to use this tool. It's got that pointy end, and that is, it feels a little wet, so I'm going to get that dry. That is what I'm going to use just on that star, and just scratch along very carefully. And see, it just comes right off. It's actually very easy. And I want to be careful because I don't want my little plaid off of here too. Trying to leave the plaid. You could always also, if you go too far, I mean, there's no crafting emergency. Let's be clear about that first. So you can fix, everything is fixable. You can totally fix anything. I think the number one reason people say they don't like to craft is the messiness and that it doesn't turn out perfectly. And so just know that everything can be fixed. Everything is fixable. So if you go too far, which I'm likely to do talking too much, you can always lay that back down. My nose itches. You can always lay that stencil back down just for the star and redo the star if you want. Or take a brush in your paste and paste it back on. Sorry, it's hard to concentrate and talk at the same time. Trying to make it look realistic. And not like we detached the star. I don't know how it's supposed to be. Seems like some of this is a little much too. I don't know. Seems like it's a little outside the edges. Do turn it around so you can get in and get a nice clean edge too. Whatever works the best for you. Boy, that star was kind of leaky now that I look at it. Kind of leaky. My husband was falling asleep in front of the TV. He wanted to watch, we were watching a Netflix show. What was it called? 1,000 days or something, moments. I don't know. I don't even remember. But anyway, it's pretty good. It's like it's just a series. But be sure you, obviously, if you're watching this on the members only, the members just like helps me get more out on the channel. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I'm going to leave that. Let me show you what that looks like. I think we did pretty good cleaning that up. You and I are the only ones who are going to know. So there you go. I don't know why my nose itches. All right, so that is it. How quick and easy is that? We are probably under 15 minutes for this little project, and easy peasy little decoration. What a great gift this would be for somebody for Christmas. I think it would be gorgeous. That, in fact, if I can find some more hurricanes like this, I think that might be something I'm going to do this year for all my kids' Christmas gift, at least the married ones, right? All right. Well, I appreciate you all. Make sure that you do all the things, share this out for me, and have a very blessed evening and keep on crafting.